What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Coaching Company podcast. We do this show most days when we have the time to support the morning show. If you missed any of Coaching Company this morning on Stadium or YouTube or social media, I encourage you to go back and watch it on demand. A ton of picks. We have Footy Friday from Big Chuck, so we have games throughout the weekend, picks throughout the weekend. So take the time and go back and watch that. Also, to set the schedule for the weekend, later today, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, you know it's Off the Ropes with the Coach on SiriusXM Channel 156, or weekday wagers at 2 p.m. on our Coaching Company YouTube channel. Then, later tonight, Mikey P and Young Peyton will be doing a full baseball divisional round preview show. That'll be posted tonight. And then our college football preview will be posted by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning or earlier. Can we do any more for you? Now, joining me today here on the podcast, my man Mikey P. He's been working overtime lately. Mikey, staying busy. We've got the PFL that starts in 15 minutes, so we are fired up for that. We've got Paul Hughes and Usman Nurmagomedov teeing it up today. How much are you looking forward? I can tell how much you're wearing your PFL hat. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do this. Let's do that. This is one of our biggest fights of the year in the PFL. I'm fired up for today. Do you think Paul Hughes is going to get it done?
Listen, there's something about that Irish bravado, and when you call your shot for the rematch, I got all the belief in the world in Paul Hughes, because for my money, and I'm not here to debate, I thought he might have won that first fight. So
some people did. And he believes that he did too. It was a 5-match banger back in January. You can watch it live on the ESPN app. So if you've been waffling on whether or not you want to get it for WWE or whatever else, PFL today, I already got it. I've already spent my $30. So I'm good to go. I thought about doing a watch along. Then I thought, I've got a radio show at the exact same time. That's the one thing I don't like about these, even though they're important for us as a company and as a brand to go to Dubai and Saudi Arabia. I wish our big fights were here in the States, and I hope moving forward we can make that happen, because it's really hard on a fall Friday in the middle of the day to get people to stop and watch. That's just fact, unfortunately, but at least we're having the fight, and that's a positive.
You know who almost did offer to do a live watch along for the Coaching Company?
You were going to do a live watch along?
I was. But you know what? Someone once asked me, do you want to do the work? And the answer is always yes. So I was like, I've been putting in a lot of work. I don't know if I'm going to overstep by offering that up. But no, it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great event. There's a lot of fun and exciting fights from the beginning of the card to the main event. So PFL's putting on bangers, and I think the future is bright moving forward.
I agree with you. Now, speaking of bangers, Thursday Night Football, it was much better than people expected. And Mac Jones, he was trolling us just a little bit. All of a sudden, oh, my knee. 3rd and 8. All of a sudden, you're good. I thought he did a spectacular job of deking us throughout the game. But when you look at him, he was clearly the MVP, Mikey. 33 of 49, 342, 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey rushed the ball 22 times for 57 yards. You got to do that. You got to make people honest. That opened up Bourne for 10 catches, 142 yards. And, Mikey, if I never have to watch him do this again, it'll be too freaking soon. But I got to give him credit. And then McCaffrey, 8 catches, 82 yards, a couple of big ones on the series in overtime. So now the Rams have lost on a 4th and 1 in overtime and a blocked field goal scoop and score in overtime. If they don't do anything the rest of this season into the playoffs, these 2 games could mentally be so debilitating on how they've lost them so far this year.
Well, let me start with Kendrick Bourne. I'm never going to bash anyone's personal life or faith. I thought he was making the sign of the cross and then signaling first down because he's having a game of his. No, I don't know. I don't know that he was, but with all this and then, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Just signal first down and let's go. But as far as Sean McVay, and a lot of people, I almost wonder if it's the correct term is not FOMO, but I'm just wondering if he had a little bit of anxiety of, I don't also want to put my team into a tie situation because the narrative Monday morning was how could the Cowboys and the Packers tie on this last Sunday night football? I guarantee you ask every man in that 53-man roster, hey, would you have rather lost or tied? They're all going to say tied. The easy answer is win, but you take the points. Sean McVay, you are not Sean Dan Campbell McVay. You are Sean McVay. You've gotten to this point in your career because of how good of a head coach you have been. And now you are taking that step back. And really, the block field goal is one thing, but this completely is on Sean McVay in this game. And I think he needs to check himself at the door after last night.
I hated the play call. I didn't hate the call, though. So I'm going to push back on you a little bit on that one. You talk about a little bit of bad luck, though. Kyron Williams, the previous series, they're going in for the win. And I was kind of torn because I had the team total over 26.5. Okay. So they're sitting on, it was 23-20. So I was like, hey, if they score, kick the extra field goal, I cashed that ticket. And I had the second half over at 22.5. So that one ended up happening. But when the fumble came, both of those bets were in jeopardy. And I'm like, my goodness, the NFL for me so far this year has been bad beat after bad beat after bad beat. And I can't figure it out. And last night they were getting 8. And in hindsight, that was way too many points. But I can't fault Mikey for somebody playing the Rams based off of the personnel that was scheduled to be on the field. But they're not going to be getting 8 ever again after the way Mac Jones played last night.
Absolutely not. And Coach, you don't know about this, but I want to make a public apology to one of my family members who called me multiple times yesterday and was looking for his survivor pool play. And I just want to sit here and say,
no, you gave them a rivalry play for their suicide pool?
I did. And to make matters even worse, I'm kind of joking here, a little tongue in cheek. The beta for Call of Duty opens up this weekend, and they wanted to go with the Cardinals over the Titans. And I said, there's no way the Rams lose with that many backups for the Niners on the field. So Kyler Murray, please do me a favor and stick to the video games this weekend and give Cam Ward his first win.
I can't believe there are rules to suicide pools. Number 1, you always take home teams until you have no home teams left to take. You never take a rivalry until you are forced to. And I'm guessing, Mikey, that in week 5, there were a few other teams we could have played. Guessing.
Quite a few.
Like quite a few. All right. Now, last night, while the 49ers were improving to 4-1 on the season, there was history being made in the Bronx. And I know that you're a Red Sox fan and your fan base is annoying. Yankees fans are annoying, but that's what makes them great. Because when they win, they're ultra annoying. And last night, I know it sucks for your team to lose, but the way that I called him Shitler this morning on the show. Slitler. Is it Slitler?
Schlittler, yeah.
Sometime 300 years ago, when this last name came up, they had to be going, oh, this is going to suck someday. Today's the day. So Slitler made Major League Baseball history with a line that looks like this: 8 innings, shutout, 12 strikeouts, no walks in a postseason game. How impressive, taking your obvious fandom out of it, was that performance last night? And then they pulled him. Aaron Boone pulled him in the 9th inning, and thank God it worked out because he never would have heard the end of that. It was as dominant as I've seen in many, many years.
When a team, no matter fandom, when a team has a performance like that, you just tip your cap. I don't care if it's the biggest rivalry in sports. You tip your cap and you go, I'm actually happy I got to see a performance like that. Now, you'd rather it be on the other side if you're a fan, but Cam Schlittler, what a performance. I mean, the Schlitt was over for Boston very early on, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, Alex Cora did what Alex Cora has done in the last 2 games to cost the Red Sox the game by keeping starters in too long, and the Yankees did enough. And I even said, hey, if you lose by 1 run, then you don't deserve to win. for the Yankees, when you have such a performance like that, there's no way Boston could have won. So I'm also with you, Coach. I thought it was a little heartbreaking as a fan of cinema and sports when Cam Schlittler's walking off the mound and at the end of the eighth and boom goes, that's it. I would have
That's
been
it.
like, middle finger, bro.
Yeah.
Middle
No, it's
finger,
not.
bro. No, it's
Stop
not.
me from going back out there. Stop me. He's too young. He's too young
Yeah.
to say it back. But that's what I've been like. Like, what's over? Your Yankee managing career if you take me out? That's the only thing that's over here. That's it. Now, the other annoying part, if you're a non-Yankees fan, and I lived in Connecticut for many, many years when I was in the WWE. So we would go to games at Yankee Stadium. And when they play New York, when they win a big game, and the fans are going nuts. They're filing out, getting onto the train right outside the stadium. I'm telling you, man, there is very little else in sports. And I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it. These things mean the world to me. I don't know how people's worlds go round without sports in them. And Yankees fans live and die by their team. And last night, huge win, and they're singing as they walk out of the stadium, and you hear Frank Sinatra playing over the loudspeaker. It's a pretty awesome scene when they are successful in the playoffs, is it not?
It is, but I'm going to top it. Nothing better, in my humble opinion, and it's not the Boston Red Sox. It's Go Cubs Go on at Wrigley Field, especially in a Friday afternoon game. What better way to get your weekend started at the Cubs win? You're singing Go Cubs Go. You're hitting Wrigleyville bars all weekend after that. You don't even care about Saturday and Sunday. And I will also credit the other New York baseball team when they were in their run in, I believe, 2015, 2016, and they had Billy Crystal performing Piano Man, and they had the Edwin Diaz trumpet playing. I thought this was fantastic for the Mets, but for me, it doesn't get better than Go Cubs Go in Wrigley Field.
Did you just say Billy Crystal?
I messed it up. I did.
You meant Billy Joel?
Yeah, that's what I meant. And listen, Coach, it's been a week. All right, it's been a week.
Hey, I'm going to give you a pass. You've done a lot of work this week for the brand. I'm going to give you a pass. Real quick, I do want to answer a question from the chat queen, Kimberly. She says, do you think the UFC move to Paramount is a good move for the PFL? 1,000% it is. And I'm going to tell you why, Kimberly. That ESPN has put a lot of their eggs, not all of them, but a lot of their eggs into their new app basket. And in order to get people to pay $30, they've had to go out and get the WWE. They had to add football games and baseball games. Now, right now, full transparency, I haven't missed any games by using the app. So they've got to figure out what they're going to do. And Mikey, if I was ESPN, and they're going to get some pushback on this, but I would make little kind of pay-per-views within the app, meaning this. They now have the SEC. Would you pay, Mikey, last week to watch Georgia and Alabama? Would you pay $2.99 or $3.99?
Absolutely.
And if you're an SEC fan, you're going to pay that. I think ultimately they're going to get creative. I think they're going to have to in order to bring in the revenue, because right now, I don't know what the numbers are. I have no clue. But it doesn't feel like, Mikey, they've gotten off to the millions of subscribers that they wanted to. Do you feel the same way on that?
I do, and this is not, as we both sit here and rock PFL hats, this is not to be anti-UFC. I just feel like there was a huge opportunity missed on both sides. And listen, I'm not in the room. I don't make business decisions. But with the UFC moving to Paramount Plus, all those, their big thing is the pay-per-view model is dead for them. So everything's going to be free moving forward. If you have 4 remaining events with ESPN, just open it up by offering an ESPN Unlimited subscription. The same way you're going to be able to watch PFL on Friday, there is a Saturday night UFC pay-per-view coming. Why would you not open the door to say, hey, ESPN Unlimited, you're going to get PFL on Friday, you're going to get UFC on Saturday? I feel like that would have been a great way to say, here's what's coming to Paramount Plus, and here's a way to drive up your ESPN subscriptions.
So right now, so I'm clear on this. You still have to pay separately for the ESPN Plus pay-per-view for the UFC card Saturday.
Yes.
And it's not offered on the ESPN app.
As far as I believe, it is still that $79.99 price point.
Fast. What you're talking about is really really smart, and I think sometimes, especially with TKO, the parent company of WWE and UFC, is they're so focused on making every last dollar they can right now because they have $5-6 billion in debt that they don't think like that. They don't think like the long term play of how do we get as I think ESPN's better about that because they have so many other sports to deal with. But right now, TKO, and they're getting a lot of backlash. On my Sirius XM radio show, Off the Ropes, 2 to 4 Eastern weekdays, channel 156. I can't remember the last phone call we got saying, "You know what, Coach? I love paying this amount for whatever. I love spending this amount for whatever." I don't know if you saw the prices for John Cena's last match. There are packages for $11,000 to go to that. Now, you get a ride in a limo, you get a chair to take home with you. But I wonder how many people, after a 90-minute wrestling show and spending $22,000, Mikey, on 2 tickets, are going to look at those chairs in the living room and go, "Yep, it was all worth it." How many of you think will do that?
Well, Coach, as a father like you are, I'm just wondering if you've broken the news to your daughter that she's not going to college because you're going to pay for that exclusive package. I mean, how great could it be? And I heard you,
Woo.
Vince Russo, talking on the Coach and Bro show. The 27-cent towel that you're gonna get from John Cena. Like, to me, it's so outlandish. I have heard through your show and the Coach and Bro show, fans asking this question more than revealing their excitement. It's how can I cut corners to be able to afford going to an event? And I
Yep.
think that's the overall message with TKO right now is how can we cut corners to enjoy the TKO product rather than I'm so excited TKO is in charge.
It is, and I understand, and I take that into account that I'm an OG, that I was in the WWE during the Attitude Era, the best era, and I get all of that. But Mikey, when you're running a business and you want that business to be around for a long period of time, this is something you don't do. And I find it so amazing that really smart people that are in the room don't get that. They're only looking at what's right in front of them. I'm assuming they probably have these big loans that you and I will never deal with. They have certain dates they got to be paid off by, and so I'm assuming there's dates they have to hit because not only are they not backtracking, and I gave a solution the other day on my show. I said this could be flipped around in a heartbeat. Fan friendly pricing, which is what we're doing at the PFL. And you say, you make some things fun, or you bring back house shows, live events, and you make those tickets $50 or $60, whatever it is. But they're doubling down on we want the same amount of profit from our WWE tickets that we get from the UFC tickets. UFC has what? 12 to 18 events a year, something like that. That's not at the UFC headquarters.
Yeah.
WWE has well over 100. Of course, you're not going to have the same amount of. I don't know. It gets me upset because I think about the kids that can't go to these events, and that makes me upset.
Well, unfortunately it's not even kids, Coach. It's adults as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind leaving my apartment every once in a while to go to instead sporting event or wrestling show. I've gotten my better half into wrestling. It'd be great. But now you're like, do we want to buy groceries for the next 2 weeks, or do we want to go to an event? And to your point, also, I think not only from a financial standpoint, but I feel this way about the NFL and all these sports that we're seeing changes in. When you eliminate house shows in wrestling, you're increasing risk of injury because there's
Yep.
not as much practice and routine. We all saw the big botch 2 Fridays ago on SmackDown, right? You don't have repetition. And I could just look at the NFL. You cut the preseason down, the starters aren't playing as much, injuries are up. I understand it may suck, but repetitions matter. And you can really expand your business by bringing back house shows, having your players play in the preseason. Just get them out there. Who cares?
And the business that the WWE had when I was there, I did house shows for 2 or 3 years. And if people are watching right now. They're, what's a house show? A live event, meaning Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not on television. So you would go to Steubenville on Friday. You'd go to Toledo on Saturday. You'd go to Cincinnati on Sunday. And then you'd have Raw in Dayton or something. It's always like, we call it a loop every week. And I wrestled at house shows. So as bad as I was in the ring, I could work on my craft. So when I got to Monday night and I was getting my ass handed to me by Cena or Batista or whoever else, I could at least do it and make it look halfway decent. And right now they don't have that ability. All right, we're going to wrap it up right there. A quick reminder that tomorrow you'll have in your feed a baseball preview, our college football show, which includes an upset of the week, which have we done 2 in a row, or what have you hit the last 2 weeks?
It's a trifecta. We're going for 4.
3 upset specials, which means they won on the field, correct? Or they won the bet?
They won the bet. They won the bet.
All right. Very, very good. So you want to turn on your notifications, and every time we launch a new show, you'll be notified. You can tune in. And then live Sunday morning, Mikey, for the very first time ever on the morning show, I am handing over the reins to you. Are you ready for it, sir?
Did you just say, Reigns, acknowledge me on Sunday morning? I will be ready. I had some opportunity. I had, a little test drive last Sunday evening. So I'm ready. Me and Rafi, it's going to be a show.
All right. I'll be watching from the golf course at the charity event I'm going to. By the way, I've been promising this for a year, and it's just, we have so much going on. Some things fall through the cracks. But after this weekend, we love that you guys give us super stickers. You support the brand. You understand this is our job, and we're just growing. But there's always a charitable aspect to what we are doing. And if you have a great week, or my guys win you a lot of money, and you want to make a donation to Saves Wings, we're going to do that too. Because I think it's important to focus on families that deal with cancer, which is what this charity does. So I'll be heading up there tonight to Wine Country. Mikey, you'd probably really enjoy it. It's around, it's called Paso Robles near Napa. You ever heard of it?
No, and I don't drink wine. We've met in person, Coach. My pockets are not that deep. Miller Lite, if you're listening, call me. It's the only thing I've ever drank. So, listen, I can.
I hate wine. You could be my plus one. My son is going to be my plus one. All right. You lost out to JJ this time. All right. That's going to do it for now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching us. Thank you for taking in our content. It means the absolute world to us. But that'll do it for now. For Mikey, producer man, I am the coach. We'll see you next time on the Coach and Company podcast. There is only one. Have a great weekend.